All right, so you hear the animation. We're talking about Panthers football. Time to get hype. We need a name.
Your favorite thing in the world.
Well, yeah, we need a name. I'm still working out a name. I'm workshopping the names. I feel like I'm good with names on workshopping. I'm not here by myself. You hear the voice of Carlene Bragg, but we got the one and only Eugene Robinson here in studio to talk Panther football.
You know
man.
That's right.
How you feeling,
You
man?
know that's right.
I feed off of Eugene's energy when it comes to football,
that's right, my
man.
brother,
Let's talk about it. All right, week one, just a couple of days away. Well, week one, actually, never mind. For the Panthers, it's a couple of days away. Play the Jacksonville Jaguars. Let's start on offense. We want to talk about both sides of the ball.
Gotcha.
All right, let's start with Bryce Young. So last year, Dave Canales comes in. He's a quarterback whisperer. He changed around Geno Smith. He helped a guy like Baker Mayfield.
Yes, he did.
We had big expectations for Bryce last year. And Bryce, first play against the Saints, interception, and it felt like the first part of the season was kind of like, all right, throw the season away. And he turned things around, Bryce, and they were able to kind of get their feet underneath them. What are you looking for in this first game from Bryce in the offense? We'll start with Bryce.
Okay, well, let me go back. I think the best thing that happened to Bryce last year was getting benched.
Okay.
There's an education process that happens on the bench that you sit there and you have to watch somebody do your job. And then you have to wait your turn to get back in there. Mm-hmm. And you're chomping at the bit to get back in there because you're like, oh, I made these mistakes, but I'm going to be a little bit sharper if I get the chance. When he got the chance to get back in when Dalton went down, I said, that's the best I've seen him. Even despite the offensive line that was a little bit precarious, a little bit unstable a little bit, he was able to find those little windows where you have to throw the rock at and get the ball out quickly, and that's what Coach Canales wanted him to do. I need you to get the ball out in 2.8 seconds, not 3.2, because if you're in 3.2 seconds, typically you're sacked.
Yeah.
And so from that standpoint, I saw him just grow, and I'm like, man, hold up, this dude he looks pretty good.
Yeah.
And then when I watched him this preseason, I'm like, wow, Bryce is ready. He is poised to have a very, very good season because I think he understands the landscape. He knows the plays. He's leading, and he's leading by example. He throws people open. Even when he hit T-Mac against Cleveland in that preseason game, T-Mac wasn't even looking for the ball, but the ball was like, boom, right on top of him when he came out that quick little angle route. Boom, it was right on top of him. I'm like, man, that's a good pass. Everybody talked about the drop. I'm like, hold up. That was an amazing pass to throw a man open and to hit him right as he's turning around. So from that standpoint, I think as we're looking at Bryce, get your popcorn and peanuts ready because I think this dude right here is going to have an excellent season.
I was just about to ask, did you see enough from Bryce in the preseason to say, okay, all right, I call it Bama Bryce. That Bama Bryce. Do you saw enough in the preseason?
That was Bama Bryce.
Yeah.
That was Bama Bryce. I like that, Bama Bryce, because don't forget, last year I was a proponent of it because I'm old school. I played 16 years. I'm an old school dude. Preseason, all the veterans played. Last year, that wasn't the case. Coach Canales, he didn't have that thing where, like, let me play my veterans the first game, the second game, this third game. He didn't have that. They played one series in the very last game. That's not enough. That's not enough to get data on what is your quarterback doing,
right.
what is your offensive line, what's the chemistry. This year, Coach Canales went to, I'm putting my guys out there.
But folks are still critical, Eugene. I gotta hold the feet to the fire. Okay. Folks are still critical that Coach Canales did not play them enough in the preseason.
Yeah, but
what do you say to that?
So to that I say I saw enough activity. Don't forget they had the in-persons where you bring in the team. They went to Houston, Texas. They brought the Jets in. The Cleveland in, and so you got enough practice live under, away from peering eyes.
Yeah.
But when we saw what I saw in the preseason, I'm like, okay, 2 series there, okay, a series here, a long series by that way. I'm like, okay, I've seen enough.
Okay.
I've seen enough by Bryce because last year, my point is, Nick, when they didn't have that, dude, I'm like, how am I gonna get? Yeah. I gotta get ready. I gotta get ready for the football season. Defensive backs gotta be able to go backwards. You gotta be able to read things. You gotta be able to go ahead and communicate back and forth. All that stuff did not happen last year. This year, it happened because Coach Canales had an emphasis on let me get my starters out there to see what they do.
Can we talk about the offensive line? Because I know we talked about it a few days ago, offensive line, what you're expecting. Icky, the number one pick from NC State from a couple of years, a few years ago, he's kind of had an up and down sort of career. And now we don't know if he's going to play week one. He just had his appendix taken out. What are you expecting from this expensive offensive line?
So you had Icky, you got Hunt, you got Corbett, you got Lewis, and then you have Moulton.
And Brady Christensen.
And Brady Christensen, of course, he's that Swiss Army knife. So you had a number of guys, and then you had Savalas. You got guys who actually played last year, a lot played McCade. So you got enough guys who've had a lot of experience. That is the most experienced offensive line that I've seen in a very long time. And because of that, I think our bread and butter should be and will be 65-35 run to pass ratio, which means that hand the rock off to Chuba, hand the rock off to Dotto, hand the rock off to ETN. And that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for this offensive line to get tremendous push to protect Bryce, yes, but to really make a statement that we can run against anybody. A third down and one is like third down in inches to us, and we have the offensive line to do that. And so from that standpoint, I think as we're going into this game, the best thing about the Carolina Panthers is the offensive line. That's the best thing about them, in my opinion, right now.
And you brought up a good point. Like, historically, Carolina's bread and butter has been the running game. So I think go back to the 2003 season, when you talk about Deshaun Foster, you talk about Stephen Davis, who had a career.
That's right.
Also,
D'Angelo
and Stewart. And now you got a foundation with Chuba Hubbard, who kind of came out of nowhere. And a guy like Rico Dowdle.
Chuba Hubbard did a great thing. He and Rico Dowdle had the same thing. They weren't the guys who were the main guys.
Yeah.
You know, down in Dallas, it was the other kid, Pollard Pool.
Oh, yeah, Pollard. Yeah.
I might be having a memory thing on names. And then here with Chuba, he wasn't. It was the other guy. Was it Devontae Freeman? I forget. It was somebody else. It wasn't him.
Yeah.
And so you got to go ahead and bide your
and
time.
Miles Sanders, who was there.
And Sanders, too. So he wasn't the guy.
Yeah.
So this is what guys like that who are not the guy think about. Man, you wait till I get out there. You wait. Because I'm that same person. I'm not the guy.
Yeah.
You're not looking at me. I'm not your number one draft pick. I'm not the guy that, number two. I'm not the guy that you're thinking about saying, hey, get a rock to. But you wait. If you give me the ball, you wait. That's what he's been poised all season long like that the last couple of years. And that's why you see him pay dividends, because he had over 1,000 yards, well-deserved, but he's been poised to have 1,000 yards because he's been biding and waiting his time going like this. If you get me out there, I'm going to let you know what time it is. And behind that offensive line, I think, now he and Dotto at the same, I think that, man, watch out. Those cats can be, they could be another resurgence of a D'Angelo and a Stewart.
And I think that's what helped Bryce's progression last year. You got the running game going, and you're able to hit those open throws, and we're able to see Bama Bryce again. And we're able to and hopefully we're able to get Chuba the rock more during crunch time. I think that's what I
want to see, too.
Yeah.
I want to see – I love having a 65-35 split, but whenever you can run the ball, that means you can pass the ball.
Yeah.
And so I think our bread and butter has always been we've been able to run the ball. And whenever you're able to run the ball, dude, you made the quarterback's job that much easier. Yeah. Because now they can't just load up against you and go, I'm going to go ahead and rush the quarterback. Go ahead and rush the quarterback and see what this draw hits you or this play action hits you. You go ahead and rush it if you want to. You got to be really solid in knowing what you're doing. So from our standpoint, if we're able to run the ball, we just put the defense on their heels right now because they don't know what's coming next.
Before we take our first break, I got to get to the receiving room. I came in here with a plan. Hey, Jalen Coker, our guy. That's our guy, Jalen Coker.
That's my guy.
Adam Thielen. Hunter Renfrow is back with the team. It's been a couple of weeks for the Panthers wide receiver room, man.
It is.
Realistically, that pressure is back on XL, Xavier Legette, and T-Mac.
Exactly. Squarely on their shoulders.
Yeah.
I mean, because first of all, you got to have a veteran presence. Losing Thielen's presence, that's why Hunter Renfro's back in the mix.
Yeah.
Don't make no mistake. And he wouldn't have been in the mix. They got him back in there sooner because when Jalen Coker just went down.
Yeah, he's on IR. He's gone for a month.
He's going to go on for the month. So now you're like, oh man. And I had high hopes that I think he's the best receiver on the team, in my opinion, Jalen Coker.
Yeah.
I think he's that guy. And so now it really does fall on to Leggett and T-Mac. Dude, you got to step up. Dude, you have to step up. So we're asking a second-year guy to be a 5-6-year veteran, and we're asking a first-year guy to be a veteran. That's what we're asking him to do. And that's what I was saying about that first pass that T-Mac, when in the preseason, when Bryce hit him in the end zone. Dude, when you come out of your break, get your eyes around and get your hands ready to catch the ball because the ball's going to be on your chest because Bryce is that type of guy.
Yeah, he's an on-time thrower. And we talked about it a couple of days ago as we were preparing for the show. They got to play big. XL and T-Mac are big receivers, but at times they don't feel like they play big at all.
Yeah, a great point because every defensive back knows when you go against a Terrell Owens is a big man. Kelvin Johnson, big dude.
Yeah.
You know, when you're going against somebody that's a big person, you're going like this, I gotta lock it down. Oh, okay.
Especially as a safety.
As a safety, especially if you're gonna be doing man-to-man, you better go ahead and bring your lunch. And when the advantage that T-Mac and the advantage that Leggett have, they got size. I can't teach size.
Yeah.
I can't teach you. That's your mom and daddy that got you tall. I can't teach that. I mean, you could go ahead and work out and put the muscle on it, but that height, now with that height, need I say you can go out there and try to bully people a little bit? You can go out there and try to go, man, get out of my way. Push them out of the way. You have that ability to do that. But if you don't play big that way, the cornerbacks and the safeties look at it and go, oh, man, you just a big man that's a big man, not a big man that's a big man with a big heart.
You're saying the same thing Michael Irvin said. I don't know if you saw the video of him at Miami practice telling wide receivers, I mean, you got to play big. You got to smack him across the helmet.
Yeah, I saw that.
And so we got to see that from those guys.
And they are – here it is. They are capable of it. And so if I could get into their head, I would go and say, hey, Lay, check this out. And Matt, when you were in high school, what'd you do? When somebody lined up against you, what'd you do?
Bully ball.
You said, get out. What? You, please? Oh, please. You looking at the quarterback, throw it my side.
Yep.
I need you to go back and return to that. I don't want you to think of yourself as a rookie. I want you to think of yourself as a veteran who had football experience from Pee-wee to high school to college. That's a lot of football. Now go ahead and beat somebody down legally.
Man, I'm hyped. I'm about to put on some shorts.
You know that's right. Beat down somebody legally.
Let's take a quick break. We talked about offense. After the break, we're going to talk about defense. Back here next. Look, hey, man, Jacksonville Jaguars. We're playing the Jacksonville Jaguars. We actually got some good luck against the Jacksonville Jaguars. What are you expecting as far as their let's talk about defense first, because they have Travis Hunter. They gave away a haul for Travis Hunter, a guy who's expected to play both ways, but we know him from corner. What are you expecting to see from the Jacksonville Jaguars defense?
The reason why they picked up Travis Hunter is because defensively, if you look at against the rush, they gave 132 yards rushing. Against the pass, 257. Right, they couldn't stop people. 43% on third down efficiency. So they're not really getting off the field quickly. All right, they're getting off the field almost half the time from that standpoint of a third down situation. So I see why they got Travis Hunter, because they got on the back end they were getting torched.
Yeah.
Now, in my opinion, he's a shutdown corner. He's a Darrelle Revis. He's a Deion Sanders. That dude can cover.
You think so?
That dude right there can cover.
Okay.
He's like uncanny. Like, I don't think I'm like, dude, I think they're going to outrun him, but they don't outrun him. I'm like, dude, he has a way of sticking with you. And so I think he's a good corner and a great pickup. But defensively, I think there's just holes. The corner is not going to come up and stop the run. Yeah. They're going to stop the pass. Primarily, that's what they got to for stopping the pass. And so I think defensively, that defense, man, Bryce Young should be able to exploit that defense. exploit that defense big time. They only had 6 interceptions last year. 6 interceptions. The takeaways weren't there.
Right.
Maybe make 32 sacks, 34 sacks around there. But that was like the only thing that was happening. When you went against the Jaguars, it was like defensively, you didn't know if they were going to hold up, and they didn't.
Okay, so let's talk about the opposite side of the ball, the offense, Jaguars offense. So they're going against a defense in the Carolina Panthers that I looked at the rankings and I regret I looked at them because Panthers were ranked at
We
the
were
bottom.
32. We're bottom of the bottom.
Yeah, bottom. Can that Panthers defense shut down Trevor Lawrence, a guy who still we're waiting for that guy to prove that he is that guy?
Absolutely, and this is the reason why. Most people forget that last year, 2 of our major players weren't on the field at the same time. Derek Brown, defensive tackle, beast. 3 technique, 1 technique. He gonna shut. You gotta have 2 people block him. All right, and then DJ Wanham, that little edge rusher. But he had about almost 10 sacks towards the end, and he came in the middle of the season. Those 2 guys weren't on the field at the same time. Now you go get Brown, you go get Wharton, you got some other guys. We got Eugene Robinson. That defensive front, that big defensive front just got better.
Yeah.
Just got better. Our defensive front got better. So from the standpoint, I'm like, this is a retooled defensive front. It ain't the same. And them dudes going to be able to stop the run and put pressure on the quarterback. They're going to make that back end of our secondary even better. Don't forget, you got J.C. Horn Jackson, a guy who I like. You got Morick, who came over from the Raiders.
I like him a lot.
There's another guy, Damani Richardson, who's in the background, who I absolutely love. He's another safety that dude needs to be on the field. But that's just me right there. So from that standpoint, you've got guys here. The only thing we didn't talk about was the linebackers.
Yeah.
What's linebackers? Is Wallace going to show up? Well, with that defensive front in front of you, you should be able to make a lot of tackles because they're going to be able to hold up on that offensive line. And that's what we're looking at. And don't forget, I know what you're talking about, the quarterback for the Jaguars, Trevor Lawrence. He had 3 different coaches, man. He has how many in 5 years? 3 different coaches. He's learning how many systems he has to learn. That's what Bryce was doing. You can't have the coach continue to learn stuff. I mean, the quarterback, because guess what he has to do? He has to worry about vernacular, communication. How do we say this? Do we say it like this? Is it 34 X pass, widescreen, 7 dump? What, you got to do all that stuff because you got a new system to learn. So now you got Trevor Lawrence, who is a veteran, worried about learning what the plays are, what the plays are called, and what everybody knows, as opposed to being Trevor Lawrence playing football.
I think the Panthers' strong front on defense is the defensive line, but it's kind of flipped because for the last several years, linebacker group has been awesome, and secondary has struggled. But this year, the secondary is, on paper, pretty good, and we still have questions about our linebacker group.
Absolutely. That's where I think that, I mean, we picked up an edge rusher / linebacker on that one is Scorton.
Yes, Scorton, yep.
So we picked up Scorton, and he's supposed to fit in, be that guy. We run a 3-4 system.
Yeah.
On second and third down, it becomes a hybrid of a 4-2 system that we get a hybrid. But right now we run a 3-4 system on first down. That's 3 defensive linemen in your face, and then you have 2 linebackers on the outside. The 2 linebackers on the outside is DJ Wanham, and I believe it's going to be Scorton. Maybe Scorton. I'm not sure who's going to have but that group, they're going to be able to put a lot of pressure on the quarterback. They're going to be able to put a lot of pressure. And if they hold their edges that we didn't do in the first preseason game, but we did it in the second preseason game, if we are about holding our edges, you watch out, man. Our linebackers are going to have a lot of tackles.
I'm excited. Year 2 with the same DC Evero.
Yep.
So let's take a quick break. We'll be right back here. More Panthers talk. Eugene Robinson, myself. Carlene is also here. She's silently rooting for the Panthers. So we'll be right back in just a moment. All right, welcome back here. Talking about Panthers, first game of the season against the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm here with Eugene Robinson, breaking everything down. We talked about the offense. We talked about the defense. I want to get to some quick hitters, man.
Okay, cool.
All right, we'll start with this. X factors for Week 1 against the Jags. What was your X factor for the game?
So I'm looking to see how J.C. Horn, how does he do against Travis Hunter or B. Thomas Jr.? Because B. Thomas Jr. for the Jaguars, he has
a problem.
He's a problem. He got 10. He had over 1,200 yards. He got 10 touchdowns. I mean, he's a problem. So when we go man to man, I'm looking to see how does Jackson and how does J.C. Horn hold up against Travis Hunter and B. Thomas.
Okay, all right. 3 keys for a Panthers win. 3 keys. Let me get 3 keys.
So Bryce to be spectacular. I need my receivers to catch the ball, no drops. I need you to catch the rock and get that positive yards afterwards. And then offensive line, if you protect and you block, watch out. Watch out.
Just in that, as a former safety, week 1, what's week 1 like? And what's your message to your teammates? What was the message for your teammates week 1?
My message is like that nervous butterfly feel that you feel as you get ready to run out on a kickoff or punt return, doing something for the first time. That's not butterflies. That's your system telling you that you about to do something special. So I always tell my guys, hey, you about to do something special. So the butterflies you feel, it's not because you're scared. It's because something great's about to happen.
Oh, man. All right. So I got one more. So who's the guy or guys that maybe that don't have the big name for the Panthers, but you expect big things from them in week 1?
DJ Wonnum.
Okay.
Thornton. Thornton played well in the preseason. I'm hoping he's out there too, because if he's out there in the secondary, he's a guy that he can cover. The dude can flat out cover. I like Thornton. And then we got to continue to talk about Christensen, because when Brady's in the mix right there, he can play any one of those spots. So a guy we haven't talked about who's going to be crucial is going to be Brady Christensen.
I got a question, and this is off the list. We hit those quick hitters. Can Mike Jackson, number 2 cornerback, can he legit be a number 2 cornerback for the Panthers?
Absolutely. He could be a number 2, but there's a guy waiting in the wings to be a number 2, and that's Thornton.
You think so?
Man, that dude can cover.
He played well during the preseason, but it looks different from the preseason to the regular season. I'm just saying.
I know, exactly. But don't forget this. Most people forget that when we think about all these players that they come in, they were super-duper stars in college in their own right. Mm-hmm. So if they were going against Travis Hunter in college, they were going like this, hey, you got Travis, man. I'm gonna match you up. He thinks that way. He thinks that I'm one of the best guys out here, even though he has having the opportunity to be there. And I'm telling you, when you think that and you play like that, guys that you'll know that you did in preseason, he played extremely well because he thinks that way. So I'm telling you, Thornton, you better watch out because he can take somebody's job now.
Look, Eugene Robinson might take somebody's job.
No, I can't play no more, dude.
You sure you can't play no more?
Nigga, I can't get down no more, man.
You don't have that itch to throw the pass?
No, I'm domesticated, baby. I'm watching TV, some popcorn, some peanuts. I'll holler at you, dude.
Hey, don't worry, Eugene's not gonna play for the Panthers.
No, you know I'm not.
But he's gonna be here every week with myself and Carlene talking about the Panthers. Every Thursday, we have it live here during Live Impact News, but 9 o'clock every Thursday on WCNC Plus. You can watch Eugene, myself. We still got to figure out a name. We're workshopping a name for the show. It's just week 1.
Any suggestions, Eugene?
Brothers with bald heads.
Brothers with bald heads talk Panthers. There we go.
Brothers with bald heads talking about the Panthers.
I love it, Eugene. We'll do this next week, my brother. Thank you.
All right, dog. You take care.
All right, man. Again, tune in every Thursday this season at 9 p.m. only here on WCNC Plus.